Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. We will take a spin around the world with some stories that have just come out in the last 24 hours. And there's a special press release that was part of the SBI Holdings group today. It's important because it is such an important partner of Ripple, and also Santander, another Ripple partner, came out with a new press release today. So we'll take a look at those. Let's start first and go to India. India reportedly not banning crypto, instead labeling as commodities. Wow, so they've taken a complete U-turn. The Indian crypto censorship battle rumbles on as new reports emerge that the government will now not ban virtual currencies after all, but instead codify them as commodities. This is really positive, not only for the space, but for India too. The decision, of course, back in July, when the Supreme Court backed up the Reserve Bank's decision to effectively ban crypto activity, was a huge blow to the companies operating in the sector. And after months of uncertainty, debate, and lobbying from big businesses, the signs are emerging that the government may now be about to do a U-turn. This is great. I will put the link to this in the comment section below, and you can have a read at it a little slower if you like, but we'll keep moving on. From India, we're going to actually stay with something related to India. Yesterday, in my video, I had the link to Asheesh Birla, who was on a fireside chat panel with the executive vice president from Wells Fargo. And that was a really great video. And there's more stories coming out. And this is another one that came out today. So Ripple Tech attracts more clients in India, likely taking over half the market share. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, Asheesh talks about the firm Ripple has convinced Indian financial firms early on to join RippleNet, a network of companies which use its blockchain technology to process payments. And Asheesh Birla, Senior Vice President of Product Management, says that the company, which owns 60% of the total supply of the digital asset XRP, is growing rapidly and closing more than a deal per week. Birla said at the panel discussion organized by the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton Scale School. So, yeah, he thinks that it's likely going to take 50% of the market share in India, with increasing numbers of companies either integrated into its network or in talks to seal deals for the same. Wow, that's just fabulous. And sticking with Ripple, if you missed it, David Schwartz, who's now the new CTO, is going to do a Ask Me Anything this Friday. And Asheesh Birla will be joining him. So he says, please tag me with your questions and then tune into my AMA with Asheesh on Friday, July 13th at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The last AMA he did, they streamed live on the Ripple site, so I'm guessing they're going to do the same. Now, let's jump to Spain and look at what Santander's doing. Santander Corporate and Investment Banking appoints John Whelan as head of the new digital investment banking unit. So they have announced on the 11th that it plans to utilize blockchain and other new technologies within its capital market business to change how securities are issued, traded, and settled. So we are definitely seeing a pattern in this area. And from Spain, let's jump to Dubai. So I have been searching for some concrete news because Ripple was in Dubai last week. And I have not been able to find anything that is worth bringing to the video, but in looking, I found this. Cryptocurrencies and blockchain are the future, says Dr. Habib Al Mulla. I was so happy to see this little story. So businesses and individuals, he says, should refrain from trusting negative claims and warnings surrounding cryptocurrency, according to the chairman of Baker McKenzie, Habib Al Mulla. Speaking at the Arabian Business Startup Academy, Dr. Habib said such claims stem from regulators and government struggles in controlling the digital currencies. So you will hear many warnings that cryptocurrencies are risky and that they are not regulated, and that they are being used for illegal activities, drug trafficking, illegal arms deals, and many illegitimate activities in the dark web. I would simply like to say, do not listen to these claims. They stem from the fact that regulators and governments are struggling to have control over cryptocurrencies and activities based on them, at least for now, he said. So I just was really happy to come across this story. I'll put it down in the comment section, and let's hope we can hear some positive news that comes out of Ripple visiting Dubai last week. Okay, so CoinSquare, which is a very popular and active exchange in Canada, is going to come to Japan, or at least they're trying to. They put their application in. They're going to come as a branded name of DLTA21. Now, they don't have XRP listed in Canada. However, I just don't see how they could not add XRP to their offering, because check this out. In Japan, Bitbank has 14% of the volume of XRP. That's a big chunk of money, and I'm sure there are a lot of exchanges that want a piece of that action. So the FSA has over 100 applications in to come to Japan. The space seems awfully crowded to me. I mean, already, to be honest with you. I'm sure there's room for a few more, but room for 100 more? I don't think so. I mean, could a country the size of Japan, which is about 127 million, could it really support 100 exchanges? I don't think so. So maybe it's, we're just going to have to wait and see what the FSA decides to do with all those applications. Okay, moving on to SBI. Of course, one of Ripple's most important partners. So today, on the 12th, SBI announced that it has made a new investment, and they took that investment money from their AI blockchain fund. That is a fund that they started early this year, and that is with a company called Tamr. When we take a look at Tamr, we see that they were able to raise 18 million to pair enterprise data with AI. SBI Holdings was the lead investor, but as you can see in this article, there were a few other funds that joined in. And I think this is going to totally prepare the companies to harness that big data. So there, when you go to, when you look at a bank, for example, they have their customers, and they have their suppliers, and they have their corporate accounts, and they have all this information on different platforms, and you need to organize all that chaos and consolidate it so that it can be analyzed properly. And that's what Tamr does. It handles big data, and then it takes a combination of AI and human element to tailor it to then be able to best analyze all the data from different platforms. This is a very good 3-minute video if you want to take a look at how Tamr works. I'll put this link in the comment section. It's very interesting actually, because I've been hearing a lot about making sense out of all this data, and they need to have a lot of new technology in order to harness it, categorize it, and analyze it. When you watch this 3-minute video, you get it. Okay. Well, I know you don't need to tell me the prices lately have been painful, but let's just take a look at this little article that was written by Hacker Noon. I think he wrote this. He wrote it just in the last, he wrote it on the 11th of July. Yeah. But I really like what he wrote here. So over the last couple of months, I've seen several eye-opening changes in the space that things are starting to move in the right direction. We need to ignore the rumors and look for the things that actually matter. I totally agree. So listen to his list here. Bloomberg launches the Galaxy Crypto Index Fund, the BCGI. This is a part of the Michael Novogratz Galaxy Digital Capital Management firm. Bloomberg will own and administer the index fund. Facebook added Evan Chang, the most senior director of engineering, to its blockchain team. Coinbase launched a custodial service for large institutional investors with a minimum $10 million buy-in. And yes, they have buy-ins happening. Goldman Sachs announced that it's opening up a trading desk dedicated to cryptocurrencies. George Soros, the billionaire investor, is now buying up cryptocurrencies. Andreessen Horowitz puts $300 million to work in a cryptocurrency fund. The Rockefeller family venture capital firm is now said to be getting into cryptocurrency investing. And Susquehanna is now trading millions of dollars of Bitcoin for its wealthy clients. That Susquehanna is a very interesting private trading company with like 500 really high net worth clients. And in 2014, they had just one trader handling cryptocurrency. They now have a dozen traders. So I'm going to then move into the fluff. Susquehanna is the largest river that is in the northeast of the United States, and it flows through Pennsylvania, which is where that trading firm is. And I started thinking, oh my gosh, I bet talking about how Japanese love their rivers and what they do on the rivers here would be a great story for you to hear. Because for the last 400 years, since the beginning of Edo period, which is in 1601, people in Tokyo have been getting on boats and having big parties, eating lots of food, singing, and even participating in themed events for hundreds of years. And let me explain how that's happening. Here's a picture of Tokyo Bay. This is near Odaiba. This is the Rainbow Bridge, and it connects the Odaiba area, which is pretty much reclaimed land out in the bay. This is the Tokyo Tower, and this is maybe what people would say is it's the southwest central part of Tokyo, and it's just beautiful. This is a skyline at dusk, and it's just really wonderful. So if you come up to the right, this waterway is connected to rivers and tributaries that all go through the city. And then these boats come under the bridge here, and I will show you what they look like. Here they are. These are called yakatabune, and they're party boats. People have a 2 or 3 hour party on them, and you're served food. Sometimes you do karaoke, sometimes you can have even traditional geisha come on and sing and dance. It's just so Japanese. I just don't know how to say it. It's very popular in the spring to go see cherry blossom viewing from the river. This time of year, you can see the hanabi, which is the fireworks. And I did go last summer. It is just really, really a joy. Such a pleasure to be on the water at night, eating, drinking, and partying in this fashion. Here we have another part of the city. This is the Sumida River, and this is the Tokyo Skytree Tower. It is 600 meters high, and they love to kind of float out here in front of the tower, which is lit up at night in lots of really beautiful colors. This is the old Shitamachi, which is the old downtown of Tokyo. It's on kind of the north end. The other picture was more on the south end. Yeah, so you can see. And this is the outside of a yakatabune. They always have a chochin, which is a lantern. Sometimes solid color, sometimes all different colors. But this is the same style that's been in design since the 1600s. Here's the inside of a yakatabune. You can see you sit on the floor, but don't worry, it's comfortable. If you look underneath the table, there is a cutout, and that cutout allows you to put your legs down there. So it is really very, very comfortable. And then you sit on a zabuton, which is a cushion. And then the food is, it's all types. Sometimes tempura, sometimes fresh fish, sometimes steak. Sometimes this is a nabe, which is like a stew pot. It's yummy food, and then you can cruise and have a party with lots of other people. And it's generally, you can do some lunchtime plans and excursions, but it's usually done at night. I think that's, yeah, okay. And then I have for you, there is a website that is part of the Yakatabune Association, and they will give you the different locations. You can make reservations. You can look at the different plans. You can see the price. So depending on how long you go and where you go and what time of year and all that, I think the price starts at about $70 per person and can go all the way up to $200 per person for time on the water. This print is called an ukiyo-e. This is a real ukiyo-e print from the Edo period. And ukiyo-es are woodblock prints. So look at how popular it was to be having a party on the river 300 years ago. This is probably Nihonbashi, which is one of the famous bridges in Tokyo. But Japanese have not lost their love for having these parties on these boats. And if you come to Tokyo, you definitely want to try. So this is a promotional video by the association. It's a little cheesy because it's kind of touristy, but if you've never seen what it's like, you might enjoy watching this video. Okay, everybody, that's all I have for you today. Please take care, and sayonara for now. Bye-bye.